Hi everyone, welcome to Blue E. I hope that you enjoyed my last video on how I became pain-free and bleeding-free for 4 years and a half after finding out about black seed oil and its powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory properties. In this video, we'll discuss my lifestyle changes such as exercise, diets, supplements, and things I avoid to basically have no symptoms or to try and get rid of endometriosis. I don't know if that's possible, but that's the goal here. So I follow a anti-inflammatory diet and also a Chinese traditional medicine diet. I know it's a bit different, but we all do what works for us. I found out about Chinese traditional medicine and I went to see a doctor, and she told me that I needed to keep my body warm at all time if I wanted to conceive, or if I wanted to have any chances, and also if I wanted to have better like hormonal health. So I started following what doctor said, which was to keep my feet warm, wear socks even during the summer, keep my womb warm, avoid cold drinks, especially like icy drinks, like iced coffee, and like this thing that everyone likes now, like matcha teas. She told me like try and drink like mostly like warm drinks, and she said cut dairy completely, dairy and sugar. I know it's difficult, but she said try it slowly, and I did. I removed the milk, which wasn't too good to me anyway, because milk has a lot of hormones, and endometriosis is a hormonal problem. So I cut the dairy slowly, like. But milk was like my favorite thing. Like I could have like cereal for like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I did manage to cut it, and I saw big differences in terms of the sugar as well. Remove the sugar. I removed like sunflower oil that causes a lot of inflammation. I managed to remove it. I added a lot of fiber to my diet, such as like seeds, like flax seeds, and things like avocados and fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines. I started to eat lean meats like lamb, beef, chicken. I tried my best not to eat like the fatty parts from it, but I think that's, to be honest with you, that's more what I like. If you like the fatty bits from the meat, that's okay as well, because the main goal here is not to restrict yourself from everything, but to just try and remain as healthy as possible and have a healthy diet. I started to add sweet potatoes to my diet. I have a lot of fiber, antioxidants. I started to add yams and quinoa. Slowly I removed the rice. I know everybody loves rice, but I eat it, I would say, like once a week. Like if I go out for dinner or lunch, or if I go to family house, I'll have rice. In terms of like, if I just run it like through my day, like for breakfast, I will have like like sometimes like a miso soup with like spinach and carrots and like the miso, and I'll add like red beans or like black beans, and I'll put some eggs inside. Mostly like savory breakfast, like not to spike like my blood sugar. Or sometimes I'll have something that's very popular now, like shakshuka, which is basically like eggs in like tomato sauce. I'll have that. Then I'll have a bowl of porridge made with water. I'll sweeten it with dates, and I'll add again like all the seeds and nuts into it, just to keep the blood sugar at bay, because unfortunately, like people with endometriosis and PCOS, they have a bit of insulin resistance, so you have to try and keep that down as much as you can. So for lunch, I will have like chicken breast with quinoa and avocado, and I always like something sweet. I'll have like dark chocolate, or I'll have berries or strawberries, any type of fruit like that. And for dinner, I could have like minced meat with sweet potatoes and spinach, mostly cooked things, because also the Chinese diet, you have to try your best to avoid raw foods. So I used to cook my vegetables as much as I could. And the only raw foods I would eat is fruits, because I found it quite difficult to make that change. So these were like my diet changes. And also something that is very important is plastic. Try to avoid like plastic water bottles. Try to avoid heating up your food on plastic containers. Like, it's a big no-no. Like, you can't do that, because people with endometriosis, they are estrogen dominant, and plastic, once heated up, like, it can add estrogen to your body, to your system. I know it's crazy, but so these are things I did. Like, I use like filtered water. I have like a stainless steel and glass filter. Now, when it comes to like supplements, I started to take vitamin D3 with K2, and again, like the holy grail, like black seed oil. I take these three together, and they work very well, to be honest, because when you take vitamin D3, you always need a fat. So I'll have the black seed oil first, and then I'll have vitamin D3 and K2. So I went from being like vitamin D deficient to now having like normal levels of vitamin D. Once again, I mentioned in my previous video that you always need to be careful with your vitamin D levels, because if they're low, then the illness will just progress like much faster. So what that means is you have a surgery like coming up very soon, because the goal here is to reduce inflammation, and vitamin D3, it does that. It reduces inflammation, and it gives you like a better mood, overall like immune system, you get stronger. In terms of exercise, I started to go for like morning walks to expose myself to vitamin D3, like in the early hours. I would say like 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. I tried Pilates. That's something I still do, Pilates. Sometimes I go to the gym maybe once a week, but mostly I do it from home, to be honest. I just learn it and just come home and just do it myself, or I just watch like a YouTube video and I do that. I focus mainly on like pelvic floor, because those things, they help to reduce, the time of the month pain, the period pain. That helps a lot. If you stretch those muscles, your pain will be less. And these like Chinese traditional medicine things I have adapted to my lifestyle, like wearing the socks and keeping your womb warm and drinking like warm like drinks. All of these, they contribute to you having like less clots during your period, and less pain, and like less bleeding as well. So like combined, this will give you like, this will stop you from having like constant surgeries, and it will stop you from going to the A&E like constantly with pain and bleeding, and not just like during that time of the month, but also like bleeding in between. So if you know anyone who has endometriosis, has PCOS, or is struggling with anything to do with hormones, tell them to try these two like diets, which is anti-inflammatory diet and Chinese diet. Once again, this is all based on my personal experience. If you find that this is helpful, please comment in the comment section. Share with a friend. If you have any tips for all of us who are battling with endometriosis and trying to conceive, please as well leave your experiences. If you like this video, give us a like, subscribe, and until the next video. On next video, I'll be discussing 5 big mistakes of endometriosis. Assalamu alaikum.